Hi everyone, my name is Lauren.
Hello everyone, my name is Alexis Barr.
Hi, my name is Tyra. We are students at Cedar Crest College in the nutrition program, and today we're going to talk about food groups that you might see in the fall season. A great tool for food groups is MyPlate. MyPlate breaks down the food groups into portions, or how much you should have of each food group on your plate. The reason we want to see all of these food groups on our plates is to make sure we are eating a balanced meal that will help us grow and be healthy. This means half of your plate should be fruits like apples or strawberries, and veggies like broccoli or carrots. A quarter or a corner of your plate should be grains like bread or pasta. Another corner should be protein like chicken or eggs, and about a cup of dairy like cheese or milk. Now we are going to play a little video, and afterwards try and think of some foods that go into each food group. These could be your favorite foods too.
The foods we eat are what help us to grow big and strong. It's important that we eat the right foods in the right amounts to keep our eyes, hearts, and bellies healthy. Let's explore what that means by looking at what foods should make up your plate. The foods we eat can be separated into 5 main groups. These groups are referred to as food groups, and we can use MyPlate to figure out how much of each group should make up our plates. The first food group is vegetables. Can you think of some examples of a vegetable? Here we see broccoli, potatoes, carrots, peppers, and green beans. These vegetables give us tons of vitamins to help us grow and fiber to help keep our digestive systems functioning. The second food group is fruits. Can you think of some examples of a fruit? Here we see oranges, apples, grapes, kiwi, peaches, bananas, and berries. Fruits are like vegetables and give us vitamins and fiber to keep us healthy. Fruits are sweet and delicious and often referred to as nature's candy. The third food group is proteins. Proteins are things like meat, eggs, tofu, and even some nuts and beans. Can you think of some examples of a protein you eat? Here we see chicken, eggs, nuts like peanuts, almonds, and cashews, and if you are allergic to nuts, you can try seeds like pumpkin, sunflower, or chia seeds. We also see fish, steak, and for some vegetarian or vegan options, tofu and chickpeas and other beans. Proteins help us grow our muscles nice and strong. They also help repair our skin when we have a cut or a burn. The fourth food group is grains. Grains are used to make things like pasta, bread, and cereal. Can you think of a grain found on your table? Some examples we see here are bread, quinoa, tortillas, oatmeal, and popcorn. These grains are what give us the energy we need to run, play, and learn. The fifth and last food group is dairy. Can you think of some examples of dairy? Here we see cheese, yogurt, cow's milk, and cream cheese. Dairy gives our bodies a mineral called calcium, which helps our bones stay nice and strong. Taking what we learned about the 5 food groups, we can use MyPlate to create sections on our plates. If you draw a line straight down the middle of your plate, one side or half should be filled with fruits and vegetables. On the other side, if you draw another line, but this time sideways, you will have one corner of your plate for proteins and the other for grains. The last section is for dairy. You can see a circle right outside of the plate that looks like a cup. 1 cup of milk or dairy food should be eaten to follow the MyPlate food recommendations.
Now that we're all finished watching the little video we prepared for you guys, we're going to do some activities so that you can apply what you learned in the video onto your Thanksgiving meal plate and maybe your meal plates for everyday use. So before we start the activities that we have prepared for you, we're just going to go around the room and talk to everyone to see what their favorite fall and Thanksgiving foods are and what foods you are thankful for. So an example for me, one of my favorite fall foods is apples, and I'm thankful for apples because you can have apple pie and apple cider because of them. Now that we got to hear what everyone is thankful for at Thanksgiving, we're going to do our first activity, and it's the What's on Your Plate activity. So we have our 5 different food groups here: dairy, fruit, grains, proteins, and vegetables, and then we have a couple different food options here at the bottom. We're going to cut these out. So once you cut them into little squares, we are then going to put them into the category they fall in. So for example, apples are a fruit, so they're going to go into the fruit category. But also, if you don't see your favorite food on here, we're going to draw that in. So an example, maybe your favorite fruit at Thanksgiving time is strawberries. We can either help you write, or we'll draw a little strawberry in the fruit section. Then with the activity, this is what it should look like. So when you look on the paper, under dairy, I have the cheese. For fruits, I have the apples. Grains, we have biscuits and bread. Protein, we have the turkey leg. And for vegetables, we have the green beans, the corn, and the sweet potatoes. So everyone's food plate might look a little bit different. Maybe some of you drew in your favorite Thanksgiving foods. Regardless, we're going to walk around the room and we're just going to talk to each one of you and see what foods you decided to include and why you chose to put them into each of the different boxes. Next, you're going to do a turkey glove activity with Lauren, who's going to show you all the different types of foods in the different food groups, and you're going to make a festive turkey with them.
Now we're going to do a fun little snack activity. One common animal we see this time of year is a turkey. So we are going to take what we just learned about the MyPlate and 5 main food groups and stuff our own turkeys using one snack food from each of the 5 food groups. With the help of an adult, we're going to make something like this, and you'll get to take it home as a snack for later. Now, the snacks you have may look a little bit different than mine, but I'm going to show you what you need to make a turkey today. So we are going to need some clear plastic gloves like these ones, some markers so we can decorate and label our turkeys. Then you are going to need a vegetable. Today I am using sweet potato puffs. You can use any vegetable that you'd like. You will then need a fruit. I'm using unsweetened dried mango, but again, like the vegetables, you can use anything here. Maybe you have some kind of fruit growing at home in your garden, or you prefer fresh over dried fruit like I'm using. Those are both great options. You then need a dairy. I am using yogurt covered raisins, but you may have cheese or a different kind of yogurt bite. You then need a protein. Today I am using a fun vegan option and using crispy chickpeas. You may have some kind of crispy tofu, some nuts or seeds, or you could even use a jerky like beef or turkey or some kind of plant-based jerky. And then you'll also need a grain. Today I'm using popcorn. You may have some kind of cereal or pretzels on your table instead. And then you will need some string, or in my case I'm using ribbon, so that you can tie off your turkeys at the end so you can take your snacks home for later. Before we start the next part, it's super important that we have clean hands because we're going to start stuffing our turkey. So now I have already labeled my glove. I have fruits, vegetables, proteins, dairy, and grains. We're going to start using the foods that I just went over, and we're going to put them into each of those sections. So we'll start with the yogurt covered raisins. So we'll put a couple of those in there, fill it up, and then we'll do our protein, so our chickpeas. And then we'll go in for our vegetables. Put our sweet potatoes in there. And then our fruit. And then we will top it off with our popcorn, so our grains. Make sure you don't overstuff the popcorn because you want to be able to tie it so our snacks stay safe. Now we are going to use our string or our ribbon, tie it off. Right, and there you have it. We have a turkey stuffed with the 5 food groups from MyPlate. Now spend some time decorating your own turkeys and stuff them with your favorite snacks.
Everyone enjoyed learning about the different types of food groups that there are and the activities and the video that we put together for you. Hopefully when you're at Thanksgiving now, you'll know how much of each food group you should be having on your plate and what types of foods you also should be having. your fruits, your veggies, your dairies, and your proteins, just knowing what foods go into each of those food groups so that you're having a balanced meal for good nourishment so you guys can grow big and strong. So at this time, we're gonna start cleaning up, and this is a time that you can ask me, Lauren, and Tyra any questions you might have on what you learned tonight. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.